Everyone, welcome back to Medicine for the Soul. I'm Erin, and I'm excited to teach this 30-minute full-body beginner level fitness class. All you need is yourself, your mat, and some lightweight dumbbells. So why don't you join me? Meet me on your mat, and we'll get started. All right, everyone, we are going to get started today. We're going to do a different warm-up. We're going to come to the back of our mats. Take a big inhale, reaching up. Drop those shoulders. Ribs are closed, and then take a little lift from your center to open your chest. Bring those elbows nice and wide. Stack your bones, and then send your seat back into a flat back chair or squat position. We're going to continue to lift through our abdominals, lengthen our spine as we press our arms back. Take a little pulse in those triceps for 4. Little pulse, 3, 2, 1. We lift through our belly as we bring our hands down. And then let's crawl our hands out to a high plank. Shoulders are stacked over wrists, abdominals are lifted, and legs are long. We take one breath here together, and then gently lower your knees down and press your seat back to your heels. Take a child's pose. We're going to exhale, scoop the belly, round the spine to come forward. And then again, tuck our toes, press up into this high plank. Use your upper body strength. Nice long legs here, and then send your hips high to your downward dog. Pedal it out here for a moment. We are just getting started, so we want to work through the feet. Good. Maybe swivel those hips. Play with your focus, whatever your body needs. Then square it off. Make sure your feet are parallel hips width distance as you lift through your center. Walk your hands back towards your feet. And then we'll bend our legs and take a nice stretch. Again, deep bend and stretch. If you want to grab opposite elbows, feel free to do that here. One more time, bend and stretch. Then we'll scoop our belly and roll all the way up through our spine, releasing those arms down by your side. All right, let's do all that again. Big inhale to reach up. Lifting through your center, nice wide elbows, opening your chest to the sky. We stack our shoulders, close our ribs, and send our seat down and back, turning those glutes on. Now let's press our arms back by our side. Continue to hold your center. So we're lifted in our abdominals. We pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep lifting through your center as your feet come down or hands come down to the mat, and then walk it forward, lengthening through those legs. We're in a high plank. Press to the tips of your toes, reach out the crown of your head, and then gently lower your knees down. Send your seat back to your heels in a child's pose. Big inhale and exhale. Pressing through a round spine to then lengthen out the crown of your head. Lift your abdominals, tuck your toes, and lengthen those legs. We're in that high plank once again. Feel that energy from your center in that upper body all the way out through your heels. And then send those hips high to downward dog. Again, pedal it out. Do what you need here. Get some movement in, but make it intentional. Really connect to your body. Try to keep those ribs closed, shoulders down. And then we square everything off. We lift through our center as we walk our hands back towards our toes. And then again, right here, let's bend and stretch. If you want to give your wrists a little stretch, you can turn those fingers around. Maybe bring the top of your hand down towards the ground. One more time here, bend and stretch. And then scoop that belly and roll up through your spine. All right, we have one more round of this. Let's add a little shoulder roll. Rolling the shoulders down the back. Good. Really just getting the body nice and warm. Okay, big inhale, reaching up. Wide elbows, lifting from your center to open your chest. Stack your shoulders over your ribs. Hug your abs to your spine. Send your seat back, knees over ankles. Let's add a little pulse in those legs here. Down an inch and up an inch. Really feel those glutes and thighs turning on. We want to protect our back here. Take 4 more pulses. And 3, and 2, and 1. Press your arms back, and let's again pulse in the triceps. Really press and press and press. Lift your center, hands come down. Walking those hands forward. Breathing into this high plank, shoulders over wrists. Keep pushing your chest away from the ground and keeping your hips in line with those shoulders as best as you can. Knees down, child's pose. Breathe here. And pressing up through a round spine. Take your neutral spine, shoulders over wrists, abs lifted. We tuck our toes, lengthen our legs. We're in that high plank. I want you to breathe right here with me, shifting your weight forward and back. Keeping that long line of energy. 1 more big breath here. And then hips high, downward dog. Hug your navel to your spine and just try and find stillness in this downward dog. Notice that strong, wide scapula. Notice the energy coming through the backs of the legs here. Feel the electricity in your arms as they push you away from the ground. Notice the blood rushing into your head in this inversion. And then keep lifting through your center as you walk your hands back. Let your heels come down. And then we'll bend and stretch those legs. Maybe even interlace your hands behind the back of your head if that feels good for your cervical spine. 1 more time here. And then we scoop our belly and roll all the way up to stand. All right. Give that head neck a nice juicy circle and make sure you reverse. And then we're going to take a big inhale. And then we're going to clasp that right hand around your left wrist and stretch up and over to the right. Shoulders down, ribs closed. Press all the way up and let's switch. Big inhale here and exhale to pull yourself back up. Press your arms down by your side. Awesome, awesome job. Okay, we're going to come into our, I love that. My Apple Watch just said, great deep breathing. You look awesome. So hopefully your Apple Watch is giving you a thumbs up as well. Okay, we're going to come into this flat back chair squat position that we were transitioning through. So knees over ankles, abdominals lifted. You can just bring your hands out in front of you, or you can always hold on to something if you need a little bit of support, but no death gripping. From here, we're going to just transfer our weight. So let's lift the left heel and then bring all your weight into that right leg and lengthen that left leg back behind you. Tap the left ball of the foot in and the heel comes down to switch. Strong center, lots of length out the crown of your head. We reach that right leg behind us. Keep the left leg grounded. We barely have any weight in this back foot. We tap it in, heel comes down and switch. So I'm going to face you. Keep alternating legs. Left leg reaches back, right leg strong. Tap it in, press the heel down and switch. So there's lots to think about here. We want to try to avoid the knees buckling in. Right? So keep those knees stacked in parallel. We want to try to avoid arching the back. So really keep lifting up through your center. And then we want to also avoid shifting our weight back and losing this energy in the front thigh. So continue to keep your hips hinging back and keeping your focus down and forward that way. So we can really load that front stabilizing leg as that other leg extends back. Let's just do 1 more each side. You've got this. Reach it back. Good. 1 more time here. Switching legs. Reach it back. Tap it in. Heel down and then press all the way up. Awesome job. Give yourself a little hug. So wrap your hands around your thighs, hugging your arms towards your thighs and then pulling your chest away from your thighs. It's a nice stretch for the back, really rounding the shoulders forward. And then press your hands into your thighs and take a little lengthen out through the crown of the head. Standing tall. We're going to come down towards the mat. But before we do, let's get into those triceps and into that flat back chair 1 more time. So grab your weights. Meet me in parallel. I'm going to face this way this time. Mix it up. In parallel, we send our seat back. We're going to work one arm at a time here. So press your left hand into your left thigh. Reach your right arm down without collapsing, so keep that open chest, long spine. Feel those glutes working, and then we'll pull that arm tight and press back into that tricep. We're going to do a full row here. So we pull tight and press back, pull it in and reach. Pull in, press back, pull it in and reach. Good for 4 and 3 and 2. Shoulders are square, hips are square. Last one, you've got this. All right, now from here, reach both arms long. We're going to drive through the legs to pull those weights to our shoulders and then stay grounded in our legs to press up through the arms. A nice overhead press. So we're going to track those arms in parallel, feel those ribs closing. Pull the arms in tight and then reach our arms down as we send our seat back. We squeeze our glutes and then drop into our legs to press those arms overhead. Inhales and exhales. Try to keep that connection in your center. So really stacking shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips. Good. You move as slow as you need to here. I like to take a little micro bend on the press, but I also really want to make sure I'm squeezing those glutes after that squat. So right here, we want to think squeeze the glutes, which usually means lengthen the legs, and then soft bend in the knees to press through those arms. Let's take 2 more together. Squeeze those glutes. Press into your arms. Nice job. Last time. And meet me in that flat back chair. Pull that right arm tight. And we're going to get into our left tricep. So we pull in and press back. Shoulders and hips are square. Abdominals lifted. We've been here before. We remember what this feels like a few minutes ago. And now we give that second side, our left arm, just as much attention, effort, and energy as the first side. Let's go right here for 4 and 3. Good. And 2. Last time here, pull it in, press it back. Reach both arms long, lift your belly, drop into those legs. Squeeze your glutes as you stand tall. Soft bend, overhead press. Again, you can move as slow as you need to here. We want to find and feel all the connections in our body. Arms long, seat back. Press and squeeze. Soft bend in the knees, arms up. Good. Seat back. Press and squeeze. Soft bend in the legs, arms up. Let's do 4 more right here. And it's not about being perfect. So it's okay if you accidentally bend or stretch your legs. You don't feel super coordinated. Just do your best. Keep wrapping those abs around your spine. Good. 1 more here. Squat, squeeze, soft bend, press, and then let those arms go by your side. Shake out those legs. Really nice job. If you're not breathing deeply, take some big deep breaths here. Then we're going to come down towards the ground. All right. I want you to step your left foot forward. So we're on our right knee, and then again, checking in with those lower abs and glutes. Let's press our hips forward so they're stacked right underneath our ribs, and then think about engaging that front thigh here. We're going to bring this right arm by our side. We'll take a hammerhead curl, so that means your palm faces in towards your body. And then we're going to rotate, bring the elbow nice and wide, and press overhead. Bring it down, retrograde. Try not to swing that arm when you lengthen by your side. Really think about hugging that elbow tight. Good, and you're in control. If you've already released that back glute, I want you to reactivate it. So really squeeze the back glute. Keep lifting through your center. We just have 4 right here. Good, and 3. and 2. You're doing awesome. Make sure that elbow stays in your peripheral vision here. 1 more. Curl, rotate, press, nice and wide. Bring it in tight. Lengthen down. Good job. We're switching to the other side. So right knee over ankle. Squeezing that left glute. Lifting through your center. You can bring that front hand to your other thigh. And then we row nice and tight here. I'm sorry, not row. Curl nice and tight. Palm facing in. Open side. Shoulder down to press. Good. Again, trying not to swing the arm. Trying to keep those shoulders pressing down. Connecting through our abdominals. Using that breath. Allow that left glute, your back glute, to stay strong and to help support you. That's your base here in this position, right? Connecting to that front foot as well. You can push into that front foot without shifting the knee forward. We're just allowing that right thigh to activate as well. Good. 4 more right here. Curl, open, press. For 3. So strong, such good work. And if you need to slow it down, please do. It's always quality over quantity in my book. Always quality over speed. Last one if you've got it in you. And release. All right. We're already kneeling. We're going to do 1 more kneeling exercise. If at any point this feels too aggressive on your knees, you can always grab a blanket or you can double up your mat. In fact, I will demonstrate that here. So you can just roll one side of your mat back. Give yourself enough cushion to feel a little bit more comfortable. We're going to bring our toes together. We're going to open our knees a little bit wider here. So let me turn so you can see from a side view. Toes are connected, knees pointing away from the body. And we're going to bring those weights to our hips to start. We're going to lift through our center to hinge forward and feel the glutes activate underneath. And then we're going to press all the way up and squeeze those glutes as we stack our pelvis under our ribs and feel those abdominals turning on as well. So our seat goes down and back. We press and squeeze. Seat down and back. Press and squeeze. Good. Now we're not trying to crunch the low back, right? So we want to think about squeezing but lifting. Squeezing but lengthening. We find the connection in our abdominals, in our glutes, and then we press away from our mat and up towards the sky. But press those shoulders down. Use that breath. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you press and squeeze. We have 4 more right here. Try to keep that rotation. For 3. Press and squeeze. You're doing so good. For 2. Press and squeeze. 1 more. Hinge. Press and squeeze. Good. Lower your seat down. Set those weights down. Really nice job. Let's roll that mat back. Such good work here. Okay. Now we're going to drop those weights. And we're going to come into that kneeling position we were just in. Left leg forward, right leg back. Tuck the back toes. Engage those abs. Squeeze your glute. And then let's press ourselves up to stand. Lengthening those legs with, again, the pelvis tucked forward and this back glute activated. So notice the difference between this and this. Really squeeze. We bend the legs. We lower the knee down carefully. Keep this on. Feel the activity in the quad. We press nice and slow into the front foot and the ball of the back foot. We lengthen. And we keep that torso tall as we lower down. Keep lifting. Keep squeezing. Your abs and your glutes are the muscles that are going to help you protect the joints and really activate the muscles. We have 3 down, 2 to go right here. Press nice and strong, lengthening, squeezing and lifting. Lower down nice and slow. 1 more time here. Pressing up, lengthen, squeeze and lift. Lower down nice and slow. Let's switch here. So keeping that front knee over ankle, again, tucking the pelvis, squeezing your back glute, lifting your abdominals. We push into the front foot, the ball of the back foot to lengthen and lift. Good, and then squeeze that glute, lift through your center as you lower. Again, there should be no pressure in the knees or the joints. We are moving slowly for a reason. Continue to support those legs with your abdominals and your glutes. And allow that back quad to feel some fire here, as well as your front thigh. 2 more right here. Stay focused on this one. Last push all the way up. Good. And then bend that knee. Whew. And let's come to all fours. Really nice job. I'm going to scooch these weights out of the way here. I want us to stay on our knees today. And we're going to do a few push-ups together. So let's bring the knees a little bit closer. Abdominals are lifted. Our shoulders are stacked over our wrists. And we're going to think about keeping the elbows wrapping nice and tight as we pull our heart through our hands. Keep your focus out the crown of your head and then exhale to push up. Let's take a child's pose between each rep here. Rolling through the spine, lifting your abdominals, bring your focus forward. Pulling your heart down and through. Exhale, use your abs, your lats, and your arms to push you up. Press your seat back to your heels. Again, rolling through your spine, scoop your belly. We lift and lengthen, shoulders over wrists. We lower down slowly. Exhale to press. Send your seat back to your heels. Rolling through your spine, shoulders over wrists, abs lifted. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press. Option to lift your feet up off the ground behind you in the push-up. We have 4 more right here. Really giving that upper body a nice challenge today. If it starts feeling really hard, I want you to go slower, or I want you to decrease your range of motion. So you don't have to lower your chest all the way down. You can go about halfway. Keep pulling your heart through. Inhale and exhale. Good work. 2 more. Push-ups are good for us, let me tell you. Lift your center, squeeze your glutes, pull your heart down and forward. Exhale to push. Last one, everyone. Keep it up. Stay strong with me. Hold on to the shape and the form. Inhale to lower. Exhale to push. And then let it go. Open your knees a little bit wider. Relax those arms. Relax your forehead down. Really, really awesome job. Let's press up to all fours and take a little stretch, a little twist. We're going to inhale, reach that left arm to the sky. Exhale, thread that left arm through your right and take a pause with that left shoulder on the ground. Option to reach that right arm long. Maybe wrap that right hand behind your back and look up over your right shoulder if that feels good. You can stay right here. And if you want more of a stretch for your shoulder and your bicep, you can press your seat back towards your heels, but keep your arm threaded through and keep dropping that shoulder towards the ground. I'm going to move this arm so you can see that this arm is reaching through. Stack your right shoulder over your wrist and then push yourself back up. Inhale to lengthen and square it off. Other side. Inhale, right arm extends. Exhale, thread it through. Take a twist. Keep reaching your seat up on that high diagonal to give your spine a nice twist here. Maybe reaching that left arm forward. And maybe wrapping that left hand behind your back, looking up over your left shoulder. If you want more of a stretch for that shoulder and bicep on the right side, then bring your seat back towards your heels. Keep reaching that right arm through. And then stack your left shoulder over your left wrist to push yourself back up. Inhale, opening. Exhale, square it off. All right, everyone. Let's tuck our toes here. We're going to just press up. Last bit of weight-bearing exercise. We push into our arms. Keep that neutral spine, lifting our knees up to hover off the ground. We're going to dip our knees down and then push into our upper body. Let our knees come up off the ground. We dip those knees down. We push and lift. Inhale. Exhale. Now let it be more about the legs, less about the arms. Try not to hike those hips up too high. We want to feel the arms, feel the abs, and the quads start to kick in. For 4, you're almost there. 3, and 2, and 1. So good. Walk those feet back to your high plank, and then right away press your hips high into your downward dog. Take a second here to pedal it out. Big inhales and exhales. And then walk those feet forward and walk your hands back. Take a forward fold. Let's clasp those palms together behind your back, opening up your shoulders and your chest. After all those push-ups and planks, we need this stretch. Release your arms. If you'd like, you can step onto your wrists with those toes. You can bend your knees if that makes it more accessible. And then pull your heart away from your thighs to give your spine a stretch while you give your wrists a stretch. And then let's release those hands and then roll all the way up to stand. We're going to finish here today standing instead of down on the mat. Let that blood rush back into your head from being upside down. And then let's grab those weights one more time. We're going to bring those weights into our hands and come into a nice wide turned out position. So we want to think of stacking our pelvis in between our legs, reaching our seat towards the ground. So instead of back out behind us, we want to reach our tailbone, our sits bones really down towards the mat, activating those abdominals. And then we're going to be bending those knees and pushing our thighs out and open. So our thighs are in line with our toes. Everything's pointing in the same direction. Our hands are at the tops of our thighs, and we're just going to pulse here. Small range of motion, really feeling what it's like to turn those legs out, but keeping that torso nice and tall. So I challenge you to stay in this low place where you feel the thighs burning, you feel the abdominals lifting. The second we let those external rotators turn off is when we come into the anterior pelvic tilt where the low back is arched. Then we're no longer working those muscles that we're aiming for. So keep your hips stacked. Keep those abdominals lifting. Make those muscles turn on and work. We don't use these muscles every day, right? So it's good to challenge our bodies and move differently. We breathe right here and pulse together for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep pushing into those feet. 4. It's a small pulse, but it's strong. Good. And 2. And 1. Try to hold here nice and steady. Maybe lift that right heel up. Maybe lift that left heel up. Good. Heels down. Press through your legs. Rotate to parallel. Oh, such good work. Let's set those weights down. And then let's give ourselves a little stretch here. Just ground into your legs. Give yourself a soft bounce, a little up and down vibration. And then we're going to reach that right arm across our body. Reach that left arm across your body. Right arm up and over for a side body stretch. Left arm up and over. Good. Right arm across your body. Left arm across your body. We're just cooling down, stretching it out. Right hand down your back, trying to scratch your back. Grabbing onto that elbow with your left hand, trying to keep those ribs closed. Maybe taking an up and over side body stretch. And left hand down your back. Good. Keeping those ribs closed. Maybe taking an up and over side body stretch. Good. Coming into that turned out position. Heels in, toes out. Slide your hands down your thighs. Pressing out the crown of your head. We want to lengthen our torso. Let's take a twist. Exhale, pressing the right shoulder back, the left shoulder forward. Inhale, go nice and slow. Exhale, pressing those thighs open. We take a twist. Inhale. Keep this wide position as you bring your hands down, and then rotate those heels back, toes forward, and then just shift those hips side to side. And then square everything off and heel toe those legs back to hips width distance. We're going to start to bend our knees, lengthen our spine to send our seat back, and then crossing your left ankle at your right thigh, taking a figure 4 stretch. You can always hold on to something here. But we want to open that left hip, come into that left glute, and bend that right knee a little bit deeper. Maybe bring your hands all the way forward for a deeper stretch. And then we'll switch here, crossing your right ankle at your left thigh, opening that hip, sending your seat back. Start with a nice long spine, open chest, and then maybe fold a little bit deeper wherever you're at today. Good. Both feet down, press all the way up, and then finishing with a quad stretch. Pretty full body cool down here. Let's kick that left heel to our seat, grounding into that right leg. Keep pressing this hip forward and pulling your toes towards your seat. And reverse, or not reverse, switch. Kick your right heel to your seat, grounding into that left leg, pressing your right hip forward. And release, shake that out. All right, that does it for today. Really nice job. Thank you so much for working out with me. I look forward to our next session together, and take good care.